Welcome to Manila Updates TV. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. The world watched in anticipation as Manila prepared for one of the region's biggest business events of the year. Bright lights filled the city, security teams lined the streets, and banners waved with both Philippine and Korean flags. International media, business giants, and government officials gathered for the historic Philippines-Korea Business Forum. The event promised more than just handshakes and photo sessions. It would reshape economic futures for millions. Inside the Grand Convention Hall, cameras flashed and television crews reported live, capturing every second of the momentous gathering. The air buzzed with excitement as attendees whispered about potential deals and new partnerships. All eyes were on the stage, where signing tables waited for leaders to make history. This was not just another forum. This was a new chapter for two nations with a long record of shared efforts. As the clock neared the opening ceremony, anticipation grew. The world knew this day would bring big announcements, with new agreements expected to create jobs, boost trade, and change lives. Would today be the day that launched a new era for the Philippines and Korea? Onlookers, from CEOs to students, hoped for answers. The stakes could not be higher. With trade at the heart of their partnership, both countries looked forward to deeper ties and stronger economies. The stage was set for something unforgettable. The sound of sirens signaled the arrival of the leaders. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. of the Philippines, dressed in a traditional barong Tagalog, stepped out of his motorcade with a confident smile. President Lee, representing Korea, followed in a sharp suit, waving to the cheering crowd. Security teams formed a respectful barrier, but flashes from cameras broke through as the leaders made their way inside. The crowd's energy surged as the two presidents entered the hall together. Their handshake drew a thunderous applause, echoing the friendship and mutual respect between their countries. Delegates from both nations stood in unison, clapping and capturing the historic moment on their phones. The feeling in the room was electric, signaling great expectations for the forum ahead. The two leaders walked side by side toward the stage, pausing to greet business leaders and diplomats. Photographers clicked furiously as the world watched, aware that this partnership could set an example for the region. Every gesture, every expression, was carefully noted by those present. As the presidents took their seats, excitement reached a fever pitch. The atmosphere combined formality with hope, a perfect setting for bold decisions and lasting change. The master of ceremonies began with a powerful introduction, thanking the leaders for joining such a crucial event. The audience listened closely, aware that their attendance sent a strong message. Both nations valued this partnership deeply. The presence of Presidents Marcos Jr. and Lee was no routine appearance. It was a clear signal that both sides were ready to take their relationship to the next level. In his welcome remarks, President Marcos Jr. spoke about the long-standing friendship between the Philippines and Korea. He highlighted shared sacrifices from history and praised the growing trust that now binds the two economies. He emphasized that today's forum was not just about business, it was about people, families, and futures. President Lee echoed these sentiments in his own remarks. He talked about the importance of making time for allies and friends, even in the busiest schedules. He thanked President Marcos Jr. and the Filipino people for their warm hospitality and looked forward to building something new and lasting. The applause after their speeches was long and genuine. Business leaders nodded with approval, understanding that progress starts with commitment at the very top. Trade between the Philippines and Korea has been strong for decades. Korea is one of the Philippines' top trading partners, buying and selling billions worth of goods each year. Main products include semiconductors, electronics, agricultural goods, and car parts. These sectors support jobs, create income, and build new industries in both countries. The relationship is mutually beneficial. Korean companies gain access to Philippine raw materials and skilled workers. Meanwhile, Filipino exporters find a valuable market in Korea for products like bananas, pineapples, and processed food. Electronics and auto parts flow freely between the two nations, boosting manufacturing and technology. Both governments have worked to make trade faster and more efficient. They have removed barriers, simplified customs, and encouraged companies to invest. As a result, new factories, research labs, and shipping centers have emerged over the years. These moves support thousands of jobs and offer hope for even more growth in the future. By working together, the Philippines and Korea have created a trade relationship built on trust, opportunity, and shared success. At the heart of this forum was the signing of a landmark free trade agreement between the two countries. The FTA aims to reduce or remove tariffs on hundreds of goods, making trade cheaper and faster. Electronics, agriculture, automotive parts, information technology, shipbuilding, energy, and creative industries are major winners. With the new FTA, Filipino farmers can export more fruits and vegetables to Korea with lower taxes. Korean car makers and electronics firms will find it easier to send products to the Philippines. Both sides also agreed to cooperate on green technology, innovation, and renewable energy, paving the way for new, eco-friendly businesses. The agreement supports small businesses as well. Entrepreneurs can now join global supply chains, using the FTA's simplified rules and support programs. This will help Filipino and Korean startups, artists, and tech firms find partners and customers abroad. The FTA is more than a business deal, it's a promise to work together for a better, more sustainable future. Korean companies have invested billions in the Philippines. They build factories, open retail stores, launch tech hubs, and construct ships. These investments create jobs and train Filipino workers in new skills. Companies like Hyundai, Samsung, and LG have become household names, shaping the Philippine business landscape. Filipinos also make significant contributions in Korea. Thousands of overseas Filipino workers, or OFWs, help power Korean factories, care for families, and support service industries. Their hard work is respected and valued, and many send money home to help their loved ones. This creates a cycle of support that benefits both countries. New investments are being launched as part of the FTA. These include joint ventures in clean energy, smart agriculture, and creative industries like gaming and animation. Both governments are offering support and incentives to make these projects a success. By working together, the Philippines and Korea are building a shared future of innovation, prosperity, and mutual respect. The partnership between the Philippines and Korea goes beyond trade and investments. It's also about people, culture, and friendship. K-pop, K-dramas, and Korean food are hugely popular in the Philippines. Filipino fans fill concert halls, learn Korean, and follow the latest trends from Seoul. At the same time, tourism between the two countries is booming. Millions of Koreans visit the Philippines each year, drawn by its beaches, history, and friendly people. Filipino tourists explore Korea's temples, palaces, and modern cities, making memories and forming friendships. Education is another bridge. Exchange programs and scholarships allow Filipino and Korean students to study abroad and learn from each other. These programs create lifelong connections and help future leaders understand different cultures and ideas. Such people-to-people ties cement the relationship, making it stronger and more meaningful for generations to come. Recent reforms in the Philippines have made it easier for foreign investors to do business. New laws, such as the Retail Trade Liberalization Act, have lowered the barriers for companies wanting to set up shop. Procedures have been streamlined, and so-called green lanes ensure that priority projects move faster through government processes. Tax incentives and lower corporate rates have been introduced, making the Philippines more competitive in Asia. These changes attract more Korean companies to invest, create jobs, and share technology. The government also supports startups and innovation, encouraging both local and foreign entrepreneurs to grow their ideas. The reforms don't just help big business, they also support small and medium-sized enterprises. With less red tape and easier rules, SMEs can find new partners and markets. This means more opportunities for Filipino workers and entrepreneurs. These changes prove that the Philippines is open for business, ready to welcome partners, and committed to shared progress. As the forum ended, both presidents returned to the stage for their final messages. President Marcos Jr. spoke of trust and opportunity, saying, "Our partnership is built on respect and shared dreams. Together, we will create jobs, build communities, and make life better for our people." The audience applauded, feeling the weight of his words. President Lee echoed his counterpart's optimism. He said, "The Philippines is not just a friend but a partner in progress. Our investments here are not just in business. They are investments in people, in innovation, and in our shared future." His message of solidarity and hope resonated with all present. Both leaders promised to keep working together for peace, prosperity, and fair competition. They encouraged businesses and people to seize the new opportunities created by the FTA and recent reforms. The forum ended with a standing ovation, as delegates looked forward to a new era of cooperation. With these closing messages, the Philippines and Korea showed the world what true partnership looks like, built on trust, respect, and a vision for a better tomorrow.